Hello, my name is Ngoc Tong. Today I will be talking about our final project for this course informatics nursing, continuous quality improvement plan to control carbohydrates intake of less than 150 grams per day for overall health improvement. First, I would like to talk about the objectives I will be covering. Overview of continuous quality improvement, steps in the CQI plan, plan, do, study, act model, outcomes of the project, and self-reflection. Continuous quality improvement focuses on the system, not an individual. It involves systematic and continuous action that are measurable improvement in healthcare services and healthcare status of patient group. CQI starts with building the culture of improvement for the patient, the practice, and the population. In addition, it begins with using planning approach to evaluate the current processes and improve systems to obtain the desired outcome. Some of the approaches for CQI are the Nabedian approach and plan, do, study, act model, which is what we are using for this project. This slide, we're gonna be covering steps in the CQI plan. According to the Institute of Medicine, quality goals need to be safe, timely, effective, equitable, and patient-centered. For my personal goal for the project is to control carbohydrates intake of less than 150 grams per day for the next 2 weeks. The team members for my project is my husband. Why I chose him? Because we have identified our common problem as gaining weight. So we want a common goal is to lose weight by controlling our carbohydrate intake. Our aim has to be specific, defined time, and measurable. So less than 150 grams of carb is measurable and 2 weeks is a defined time. There are 3 types of measures: outcome measures, process measures, and balancing measures. And our desired outcome is to lose weight. Change ideas is a change for new ideas to lead to improvement. This slide I just show you my flow chart, the process map, and my fishbone diagram. As you can tell, the process mapping is used to show the sequence and the action within the process. So it's just a quick touch base here. I would check my calendar if I'm working or not on the next day. And if I'm working, I would try to pack my lunch for work, but then, try to keep my range of 30 to 50 grams of carbs. And then at work, I will try to fast for breakfast. If not, then I would try to eat something very little. And, if I can do it, great. If not, then I would try to think about my goal, to control my carb intake to make myself feel better and to help increase alertness and to prevent diabetes. Fishbone diagram is a tool that we use to create ideas and to document a flow of events of a problem. So my problem is that I've gained weight. And so the flow of the events of the problem or like equipment, a stem cell app that doesn't have all the ethnicity food in there is time consuming for me to use. And environment, I have kids at home that have convenience food that is high in carbohydrates intake, high in carbohydrates content. So just a few examples there. So I'm going to touch base on the slides on the highlights of the Plan, Do, Study, Act model. So during the plan phase, I planned for my meals. I learned how to use Samsung Health application and in pre-intervention phase. I record all the food that I eat without controlling my carb intake just to see how much I consume, and it was way more than 150 grams of carbohydrates. And in the new phase is when I actually try to implement the plan. I consume less than 150 grams per day of carbs. And I weigh myself, and I record it in the app, and I record every meal in the app. During the study phases, when we analyze the preliminary results, I accomplished my goal within the first 5 days. I was able to lose 2 pounds within those 5 days. However, on my 7th day, I could accomplish my goal completely because my family visited from out of town, and I took them to different restaurants, and there was too much good food. I can't control myself. So I gained back the 2 pounds the next day. During the act phase, that's when we that's when it shows if the study phase have indicated solid results or not. Then we will have to consider like alternative plan. So as for me, I would have to consider intermittent fasting for those unintended consequences, such as like when I have friends or family visiting from out of town. So outcomes of the project, like I mentioned earlier, I was able to partially achieve my stated aim of consuming less than 150 grams of carb per day. I lose 2 pounds within 2 weeks. This is a table here that I've recorded. As you can see, I was showing the weight on week 1 and weight in week 2, and then week 1 carb intake, week 2 carb intake. So on day 1 of week 1 weight, I was 105, and then on day 2, I was 104.5. Day 3, 104, down to day 7, I was 103. And then the carb intake on week 1, day 1, I took only 98.4, 100, and then day 5 was 50. That's my working days. On my working days, I control better because I was busy with work. So it was easier for me to control during my working days. However, see, on day 7, on week 1, I consume 220 is much more than my goal. So then on my week 2, the first day of my week 2, I gained back those 2 pounds, 105. But then I still, I've seen the positive result before, so I was still motivated to continue with my plan, my goal. So then I lost my mouse. So then, I keep continue to consume less carb, and then at the end I lose 2 pounds again. So I ended at 103, which is good. That's positive result. And this is just a line graph here just to show the carb intake within the last 2 weeks. I'm sorry, within the week 1, carb intake within week 1 and week 2. There. So this slide is a self-reflection slide. Overall, the project have helped me identify what my problem is and identify my goal of consuming less carbohydrates. I feel more energetic, clearer mind, increase in my alertness. I was able to lose weight, such positive results. And it's motivated me to encourage my coworkers to try this improvement plan with me. And that will help them control their blood sugars and help some of them to lose weight. Well, that's all to it. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening.